Yo, what's up, everyone? It's Pixie, and I'm making this recording for the full moon in Sagittarius. So I was tuning in to its energy. You know, Sagittarius, it's like a wise philosopher, and it's an adventurer. It represents distance and not just physical travel and creating distance like physically, but it's also philosophically how you can meditate and create distance from your life and look at it from an outside point of view or from a distance, where traveling and experiencing different cultures like expands your worldview and kind of creates distance from who you once were into something else. And parts of the going through Sagittarius as an energy is truth, embracing truth and finding truth. And that's where you get deep into like paradoxes where two things that are opposites can be true, and conflicts as well. It can be conflicting, and it's sometimes leaves you like wandering and pondering and thinking and introspecting about things. And the beautiful thing about Sagittarian energy is it both sparks you. It's like a fire that wants to move in different direction and find different ways to grow and expand, and it's optimistic and it wants to flourish and expand, and it's lucky. But then on the other side of things, it is that deep, introspective, meditative energy. It's the journey through things and the truth discovery and discarding masks and honoring truth and being able to tune into where you're going. Sagittarius is a sign, it's represented by an arrow pointing straight forward. So through Sagittarian energy, like, we find where we're traveling, we find where we're going. And Sagittarius is also linked to intuition, not in like a watery, empathic, like being able to tune in like empathetically to other people or things. Sagittarian energy is this like, I know, and it's intuition that comes from cosmic truth. It's finding how universal truth flows through you and how messages and symbols come to you. And you are on a journey, and everything about it is symbolic if you allow yourself to see it. And with the full moon being in Sagittarius, there is certain truths right now that are coming to light. You know, beliefs that you've had, a truth about your situation is coming full circle. There is a time here for like a really big change for the better if you acknowledge it. The opposite of Sagittarius is Gemini, where it's surface level. It can lie about things. It will avoid. And some of you who are Geminis or have a lot of Gemini energy might be struggling with what this phase of your life is asking you to do. Whether it's to sometimes like be a bit more healthy. It can be about you being honest about how you've been treating yourself, what you've been believing about your life. And these can be all kinds of beliefs, like you're destined to fail, or that nobody wants you, or that nobody loves you. And some of it can be even deeper truths that you've been playing mind games. You know that you have been escaping or running from things. You know that you haven't been entirely honest about things. I think for the most part, though, you never try and hurt no one gets away with like hurting people and like not caring about it. Like, no one gets away with that. And I don't feel like the people here listening to this are people who hurt people and try and get away with it, but there's certain truths that are coming to light right now, and you have choices to expand on it. I do feel that there was a message coming through of like, some of you thought like your healing journey was over, and for some of you it's really only just beginning. And for some of you, you are letting go of how other people's gossip, lies, what they believed about you. You're realizing that, like, no matter how or who or what treats you in whatever way, it's never about them. It was never about them. It never will be about them again. If you've been struggling, that is your last hurdle, like, you're about to overcome that, because it was always about you and how you treat yourself and how you relate with yourself. And some of you are going to be stripping masks off. There's some people that you keep in your life, or that beliefs that you have in your life, and old you that is still in your life that's ready to be moved on from. And it's just simply time. It's just simply time now for that to happen. And, you know, you've dipped your toe in avoiding that. You've dipped your toe in, you know, being light in that. You've tried to kid yourself, you know, and now we're coming full circle and realizing that this isn't something that you can continue to lie about. This isn't something you continue to pretend about. You're seeing how it robs you of your happiness, whatever, you know, beliefs or ways of being that you have. Like, you're realizing that how much it steals from you. And you know, there's just a light, there's a full circle moment coming of, you know, just realizing where you are and who you are and who you've become on your journey. And no one can judge you, or you know, no one can judge your journey. Like, your journey is your journey. Like, the relationships, the heartbreaks, all of the things that you've experienced, no one can judge you for it, but it was always showing you more truth. After every person that walked away, after every, you know, when people left you behind, when people didn't include you in things, when people criticized you, when people made you feel other than or not accepted, it has shown you truth. It's shown you the truth of these people. It's shown you the truth of who doesn't belong in your life, not the other way around. And there's just a huge shift here of, like, evolution for a lot of people. There is old karmic weight, things that you've carried your whole life, you know, about being insecure, hiding yourself, thinking that your life is only successful if you achieve, like, a particular set of, you know, requirements. And that wasn't your truth. Like, that is not your truth. And there is a really big challenge here if deep down you believe that you can only be successful or happy if you have, like, a particular subset of things, like, and you don't have those things, then you're carrying beliefs that make you suffer. And you can clear those out. You can clear those things out. You are not bound to anything or anyone. The full moon in Sagittarius, there's a sense of freedom here. Like, it's really important that you look and you meditate and introspect and feel the truth of what you no longer are, what no longer serves you, and you need to let that shit go, because you can't grow into the next phase of who you want to be in the life that you want to live if you continue to just hold on to the past. Like, Scorpio season's over. Like, when Sagittarius is after Scorpio, like, we need to let things go to fully step into that freedom that Sagittarius offers. And there's gonna be a huge fuck you moment, whether you do it to parts of yourself where it's like, fuck you, I ain't listening to you anymore, I ain't following, like, these fears that you want to feed me. You might be saying, like, a big fuck you to the haters, or a big fuck you to some kind of standard that has been limiting you, some kind of, like, oppressive force that has been limiting you, whether that is internally, mentally, whatever that is. You're going to be saying fuck you to some kind of oppressive force that mostly is going to be operating inwards. I actually do feel that a lot of the oppressive forces that we think we face, like a lot of them like aren't actually on the outside. It's about how we are responding to them. And I want to read you the inside degrees of this Sagittarius full moon, and then I want to pull some cards just to like see if there's anything else I want to say. But I do see that after this period of time, like you guys are going through just like this, there's going to be a huge shift. And I would encourage you to just say like fuck who I thought I was, fuck what I thought my life was meant to be. And like, I'm gonna embrace like who the fuck I actually am. And you will lose people along the way. You will lose, like, there are certain things that you will lose, whether that is like friendships and people, or whether that is like the respect of how other people think you're meant to live your life. You will like lose things on the path of you being true to who you are. You will lose things. And there will always be these cycles of grief and loss throughout this journey. And it is painful, and sometimes you will have to walk alone. There will be times where you have to walk alone. There'll be times where you need to distance yourself from other people's energy because you don't fully understand the effects and how they affect you. If you ever feel like you know 100% like how somebody else is affecting you, like take space before you come up with a definitive answer, or before you're so sure that you don't need time alone but you just need time away from them. Take that space. I'm gonna read this. So if you're in part of my astrology class, I love teaching people about inside degrees. Every sign, every degree of a sign has like a message and a meaning. So this one is a woman wearing many tiny bells. It says methodology, technique, the how of things. Immersing yourself in a field of new ideas, fresh approaches, and innovative paths, imaginatively and energetically. Exposing yourself to possibilities, to visions, to ways to evolve. The body's wisdom musically in touch and in tune, sensing the resonance of cellular awakening. Eager and enthusiastic and bright, you have given over to the process. Always in midstream, seizing upon opportunities, challenges, openings, needing to know how it all feels at the micro levels. What is it like to be free, to be joyous, to be unrestricted here in the body, in the world? You seek the full-on motivating spark of knowing what it feels like to be tuned in and discovering what it really means to be tuned in all of the way. Some of you have been really tuned out of your spirit. Some of you have been really tuned out of certain truths. I actually kind of started recording this earlier and then I like tripped the fuck up, so I like stopped recording. But something that came through that wants to come through now is that like some of you, like you do try and bullshit yourselves into having some kind of like cookie cutter life when you're not a cookie cutter person. Like you're not that type of person. Like you are different, and the way that you love is different, and the way that you want to live your life is different. And it's not exactly controversial, but you love deeper. You want to make change. Like you don't want to cause harm, and you're aware of all of the different things that cause harm, and you can't just have like a regular normal person cookie cutter life or relationship. And you sometimes you want both. Like you can feel these truths in you about what you want, and then you get like scared about actually going and having that. And sometimes it's just going to require patience. Sometimes it's going to require you to challenge your beliefs more. And I do feel like some of you are being challenged, like to begin a particular leg of your spiritual journey that you have kind of been like, is it avoiding? Maybe you're just not even aware of it. Maybe it's both. But I do feel like there is this like, with the woman wearing many tiny bells, it's almost like you can hear this like jingling calling. But it's not always what you think it is. Like, as in, it's not gonna be surface level. You're going to be required to be honest with where you want to head. Think of that Sagittarius arrow. You're gonna have to be honest about where you want to head. And who does that involve? Like, who is gonna be on that journey with you? If where you want to head is to be involved with another person, then you need to be honest about what you really want that to feel like. And then you'll get your answers about how to really go about getting that. Like, if you want like a soulmate and you want like a deep love that, you know, where the person really like feels you and understands you, and you consciously raise like a child together where you are doing conscious parenting and doing your best to not like traumatize a kid, and you just want to be surrounded by love, then you're not gonna find that in certain places. Like, you'll feel the difference between like where you will find that and where you will not find that. And there is a split sometimes where between intuition and deep knowing and like the universal flow, and like Gemini energy, which is like facts and logic and surface level energy. Like, there are things here that are happening that are on a deeper timeline, and for some of you, that thing that you want might not happen in this lifetime, and it's something that you will continue to work towards in this lifetime, but it might not even be achieved in this lifetime. Some of you might even need to do the pavement work so that you can have that thing that you want in later lifetimes, and that might give you a sense of grief. For some of you, whoever's like really hard on themselves, that one might not be for you. Please don't internalize that as the knife. It is not the knife. But feel the energy of how, if that is true or could be true, what if that isn't meant for you in this lifetime? What if a truth is that you are here to just pave a way for your future self in your next incarnations to have that, but still follow that direction of where you're meant to go? I'm really drawn to like talk about how, you know, committing suicide and re-rolling won't change the work that you have to do. Like, there's certain energetic foundations that you must build. There's certain energetic foundations you must build, and certain like pathways within your energy, regardless of what body you spawn into or what lifetime you end up in. Like, there are certain energetic foundations that you have to forge, and that it is just what it is. And take pride in your journey. Take pride in your journey. Honor that. Honor what path you are carving, even if you won't get it in this life. Secure it for the next. Don't let, you know, you're still going forward somewhere. Sagittarius, like that arrow, it's not just about what you're aiming for in this life. What about the one after, you know? I just want to put that out there. I'm going to shuffle some cards and I'm going to see if there's any additional messages that want to come through. Okay. Are there any messages that want to come through for the full moon in Sagittarius? What is something I need to say? Is there anything else I need to say? Cycles. I love how the next one is like cycles of oh fuck in order to have abundance. There are gonna be these cycles where we will go through chaos and periods of loss and periods of like losing ourselves and losing things, and, you know, being afraid that that means you're out of alignment of where you're meant to be. But that's not true. It's not true, but it's gonna feel like it's true in the moment, because it's not going to be clear as you go through the cycle. It's, you know, it's a story. Like, you're only there in that moment, and you can do certain spiritual practices, Sagittarius practices, to take you out of things so you can look at things from a detached perspective. For anyone asking too, there's difference between this. There's different types of spirituality. There's different types. So like Sagittarius is more about like philosophy, detachment, and things that move you forward, and looking at things like cosmologically, distance. Like, so those are things like past lives and looking at things like that and truth and underlying truth and deeper intuition. Pisces energy is like healing. The other type of spirituality is like love, compassion, that we're all God, that God is underneath all of it, and like a unifying, loving force that flows through all of it. Synchronicity, divine timing, divinity, the different energies. They're both mutable, but they're different. But you will go through, these are cycles that we all go through where, you know, we will lose ourselves and feel lost, and then we will find ourselves again. And in those moments where we're finding ourselves again, yeah, I feel like we're just on that precipice. Like, we've just been lost. We've just been feeling not so fucking great. We've been completely thrown off and having to like understand what's really happening. Let go of what you're being shown to let go of so that you can embrace this next cycle. And it will feel messy sometimes. It will feel messy. But it's getting you into a place where you can build things that will grow and flourish. And ooh, this is a weird one. Some of you realize, like, again, if you're like reliant on what you grow and build, and if your flourishing relies on other things being in or out of your life, like, you can't truly flourish because you won't be able to control, like, it's all you. It really is all you and where you're coming from. Is there any other messages that want to come through? Fire. Some of you are just going to be burning down your schedules. Some of you are going to be burning down. This is Rota. Some of you are going to be burning down that like old drudging way of how you just continued your schedules. Like, some of you are just going to be like, nah, bro, like, I need to change how I'm going about my day-to-day life. Some of you can be literally doing like a quantum shift of like, okay, I want to go to therapy. Okay, I want to like start doing healing. Okay, I'm gonna like take my next step into, you know, sharing what I want to share, and I'm gonna do this thing, and like, I don't care what anyone else thinks of me. You're realizing like you do just need to like move forward, and whatever you leave behind as you move forward, like, it will be I'm almost like feeling like purified. There's some kind of like purification process with this fire. Some of you, you know, maybe you do the burning bridges, and it's like, oh, it's an interesting one because it feels like some of you need to, like, I'm hearing like set fire to the past. Like, you need to burn it. Like, not a crisp can be left of this old you that you know needs to go. Like, and I feel like the way that you do that is by moving. Like, you move forward and you don't look back. You don't look back. There is these like skeletons. There are skeletons. I think, again, there's old energy that like you just like keep loads of skeletons in your closet, like old things, lies, attachments, hurts, pains that people like put you through. You just collect it. And I think as well, there was like somebody that you wanted, you know, the things that you thought you wanted, or the things that you very much wanted but aren't available to you, like keeping it in a closet, you know, hoping that will be how your life is one day. Like, this is about your forward direction. There's an energetic difference between like what you keep behind you to go forward and where you're actually going. If this person, if this life is where you're heading, you wouldn't need to carry it with you because it would be over there, not over here. If what's here is here, then it's a dead dream. It's not something for you, potentially. If it feels like it's out there, then it's out there. Some of you have old heavy dreams. It has a heaviness to it. If it feels heavy, like if you let it go and it comes back, then that's, you know, then let it. If it's meant to be yours, it will come back round. It will find its way back to you. Probably in a healthy way, a healthier energy than what you're currently carrying it in. Okay, I'm looking for a final message. If there is one, is there a final message? I feel like there's one more. Is this something that I didn't say that needed to be said? Haha, patience, unknown spirit. Yeah, some of you do lose your patience with like how quickly things manifest. The base card is Earth. So this is like things being right there physically in front of you. You know, it does get frustrating because it's just like, well, I've been like working for the biscuit, or I've been struggling so much, or I've been going through so much shit. Take a step back. Take a big, nice little Sagittarius step back and look at your life from the angle of you having incarnations from this life. Look at your life as though you have that you're working towards future incarnations, and that what you have now is the result of past incarnations too. That will put things into perspective. I do feel that like perspective is like needed right now, and maybe it's from like a very different place than normal, and it is gonna be spiritual. If you are here listening to this now, your next path is going to be moving you deeper into spirit, not away from, not more surface level, not, you know, in a White House with a picket fence. It's actually getting you to go like deeper, whether that's in Tai Chi, whether that's energy work, whether that's trauma work, whether that is shadow work, whatever that is like bringing up in your heart. Some of you want to clear your heart. Some of you want to clear your heart. Some of you want to empower your path, and it is going to be through a spiritual route. It's got its spiritual roots, and I'm hearing you have to be, what is it? You have to be patient to get what it is that you want. And it has like a tiger, or it's not a tiger, it's like a lioness, stalking its prey. And it has to be patient. Like, if it goes too quick, it'll startle it. If it goes, like, timing is everything. And you do need to trust. You do need to trust that there is like a flow. I pulled the water card. There is a flow here. I do think that some of you are going to be working with your emotions and getting more creative as well. I think that some of you, it's really important now to use dance and music and art and talking about your feelings in order to clear them. You are being invited into a deeper path, into a deeper way of being. I kind of want to pull some confirmation cards from my Divine Abundance deck. Worth. I love how this just popped out right away. You have been worthy to belong, to love all along, without any need to improve. In fact, you are love itself. I feel like this is saying you have been worthy all along, and you don't need any more. It feels like you don't need to be anything. Like, you don't need to improve who you are at your core. If anything, I feel a lot of people's healing journey is unlearning everything that we've been taught. It's scrapping all of these like blockers and limiters that have been put up around us that stop us from thriving and living a life that is in accordance to who we actually are. Like, take a moment and ask yourself, like, if you could just like drop every fucking weird little shitty belief and what you think you're supposed to do, like, how would you want to be living your life? And then ask yourself, like, and how do you get there? Don't know if everyone has a polished intuition like that to actually get answers, but hopefully you do. Yeah, inner power, love, and faith. This is where all of this is leading, is for you to feel more powerful in your own life, regardless of who treated you what way or who are currently treating you what way, and finding your inner power and recognizing that you have the power to change this. And it's not just gonna go away because you don't look at it. Don't know who that's for. It's not just gonna go away just because you don't look at it. Give me the courage and the power to do what must be done. Love. Divine source is the idea that no person, place, or thing is your salvation. Only love itself. And I think this is kind of where we're heading though too. It's not about having particular things. It's about being a source of love and recognizing that is the only thing that's gonna truly make you happy. In not as a goal, but what to carry with you on your journey. It's not always about that end place. It's about how you are as you walk. And a lot of us, the deeper journey is to be in a more loving space as we walk, regardless of how our lives look. And having faith and trust that miraculously and amazingly, everything that you need will always come. Love is opening you to receive beyond anything that you imagine. Sometimes the ideas that you have about where your life like should be or what you think you want. How many of you like really didn't want a certain breakup, but now in hindsight it's like, okay, yeah, that was actually really good for me. Even though it kind of hurt, it might have stung, it wasn't the prettiest wake-up call, but just with a bit of distance, you can see the truth of it now. Could have been a friendship, it could have been a situation, and we're stepping into that more regularly, and we're allowing a higher power or trust in a higher power, whether that's like God or the universe or love itself, trusting that that is going to open you to exactly what it is that you want, and that's in alignment with you. Because yeah, there are some ideas and old beliefs that need to be burnt away about what you think should be for you. And as you let it go and be open to letting it go, you'll start to get new ideas, and you'll allow new impulses to flow, and you'll allow motivation to flow. And you'll discover new things about yourself, and you won't be the same. And you'll be brought exactly what you need, but you do need to be present. You do need to be present. I feel like that's it. I think that's it. I think that's all I wanted to say. I hope that makes sense. I'm going through a huge change right now. Dude, I am moving, potentially. I'll make another video about that. At some point. But I'll be getting faster internet. And I'll also be having a way bigger room than what I currently have. So I want to do some shamanic journeys for people. I want to do some more ASMR. I want to get deeper into my truth and my energy and my spirituality and what lights me up and my messages that want to come through me. And I'm excited. I'm very excited. But all the best. I hope this message finds you well. And I will copy paste the little Sagittarius at 23 degrees down below so you can read it again and let it hit. Let yourself feel it. All right, I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye.